just as how the Kadampa masters used to say, keep happiness under control, put an end to suffering with happiness under control, and suffering brought to an end. When you're all alone, this training will be your true friend. When you're sick, it will be your nurse. So, if you can transform happiness and suffering into enlightenment, then you can control happiness. You can keep it under control without letting it to generate arrogance or jealousy, laziness, smug, and all of those. I noticed that many people nowadays, they can endure suffering, but I think majority of people cannot control themselves anymore, especially once they get wealthy. Because you really need lots of merit to be able to enjoy the wealth. Otherwise, you won't be able to enjoy it at all. Just as there are people who earn some money right away, they would buy a car and show it off to others. Especially, I think, the Tibetans. Once they earn some money, they would buy a big golden ring. I think gold is no different than the rocks, really. And they would get really happy once they wear the golden ring. They would dance with it, just as nowadays in Tibet there are lots of performances to show off the amber and coral, and then whenever they dance or walk, you would hear the clacking sound. In fact, not many people actually have them. They're borrowed from others. I don't even think they have some of those precious agates themselves, but they borrowed it from others and to wear it as a show-off. Okay, I think I'll stop here. So we should keep the happiness under control. As a practitioner, if you're too happy, too excited, then you will be under hindrance in front of others. And when you're experiencing suffering, you should transform it into enlightenment as well. In this way, whenever you're living alone, you can transform suffering into enlightenment. This is a great companion. You don't really need anyone else. As long as you can transform suffering into enlightenment, you can be happy. And when you're sick, you need a nurse you need the care from a nurse. Who would care for you, who would give you water and give you medicine and so on. But when you can transform suffering into enlightenment, then you don't need anyone else. Just as Milarepa said that at the time of my death, may there be nobody around me to hear. May there be nobody around me to weep for my death. May I die in this cave retreat, and that would make this yogi satisfied. So as practitioners, I really think that the ability of transforming happiness and suffering into enlightenment is really the best companion that you can have. Just as the great masters of Kadampa used to say, you won't feel bored, you won't feel suffering, you won't feel pessimistic, you won't feel being abandoned by the society or by your friends and family. You won't feel this way. On one hand, we can contemplate up on our previous karma. Whenever there is suffering, this is really the best opportunity for us to practice. When there is happiness, this is really the best opportunity to practice. The most important of all is that do not give up your practice. And whenever you're experiencing suffering and happiness, you should practice, you should do your daily practice and meditate. This is quite important. On the other hand, you should transform it. You should see happiness as favorable conditions as well as the suffering as favorable conditions. This is the secret of our mind. If you were to practice in this way, then suffering won't become an obstacle, neither will happiness. Otherwise, I think mundane beings could tend to be a little bit extreme. When we're suffering, we cannot transform it. We would fall into the extreme of generating anger and jealousy and so on. And we would do lots of unreasonable things which could lead to suffering of this lifetime and another. And when we're happy, we could be really extreme. We could be very careless and arrogant and then destroy self and other. The next one is a metaphor. It says that a goldsmith first removes impurities from gold, the impurities such as sand and little pebbles and so on from that ore, and then melts it. And doing this process by melting it in fire and then make it malleable by rinsing it over and over again in water. So you really need both fire and water. So in this way, it would become malleable. Through different kinds of cause and conditions, different procedures, the gold will become malleable. Similarly, it is just similarly with the mind. In fact, if you can use happiness as the path, you become weary and disgusted with it, and by taking suffering as a path, you make your mind clear and cheerful. So in such a way, then you will easily attain the extraordinary samadhi, which makes the mind and body capable of doing anything you wish. The samadhi of being at ease. That is a kind of samadhi for bodhisattvas. So your mind is very capable, it is malleable, it is gentle, everything would be easy. In Abhidharma, in fact, there are specific descriptions about this kind of samadhi, about being clear and cheerful, about the mind and body being clear and capable of doing anything you wish. But look at our body and mind now. Our mind is so distracted that our mind does not listen to us at all. If you want your mind to stay here and be focused, it runs away. And just like a naughty child, if you want the child to do his homework, he said no, he has to play iPad. So our mind doesn't listen to us at all. This is, and then if our mind can be more tamed in this samadhi, then we can abide just like the king of a mountain. And when it's time for us to take on action, then we can just arrive at the target precisely, just like shooting an arrow. And what are the merits then of doing this? This instruction, I think, is the most profound of all, for it perfects discipline, the source of everything positive and wholesome. That is to say, the basis of the perfect discipline is in fact taking discipline, Pratimoksha vow, the Bodhisattva vow, and so on. If you want to perfect those disciplines, you need to have this teaching, the transforming suffering and happiness into enlightenment. Because not being attached to happiness creates the basis of the extraordinary discipline of renunciation. If you're being very happy, but do not grasp onto it, if you can view happiness as an illusion, as impermanent, as emptiness, as the nature of it is emptiness, if you can see happiness in such a way, then you can then observe your monastic vow. If you were to be able to transform it, then you will be able to observe any kind of vow you take, the lay practitioner vow or the monastic vow or the pratimoksha vow. Because lots of people who break their vows is because they don't know how to transform happiness into enlightenment, and because they grasp onto happiness as something solidly existing. And then not being afraid of suffering makes this discipline completely pure. So we're not afraid of suffering can also make your discipline pure as well. Because in such a way, we can transform we can generate renunciation. So as they say, generosity forms the basis for discipline, and patience is what purifies it. Because when we transform suffering, we practice upon patience, and then that would purify our precepts. And the fruition of such is patience. The fruition of observing precept is patience. Patience is transforming suffering into enlightenment. Because many people cannot transform suffering into enlightenment, it is mainly because they would generate anger. So this is the inference behind it. That's what is taught in the sutra. By training in this practice now, then when you attain the higher stages of path, this is what it will be like. According to the ornament of Mahayana Sutra Shastra, it says that understanding all phenomena is just illusion, then take birth just like entering a garden. For the kind of person who attained such understanding of emptiness, who have this realization of emptiness, that person could use wisdom and attain the truth or the nature of all phenomena. In fact, everything is like a dream, like an illusion in this relative world. And then with their great compassion, they can reborn anywhere, in any place, just like entering in the garden. How many of you can recite this? If I've quoted it for so many times. If you still can't recite it, that means you didn't really put lots of attention into it. You should raise up your hand if you can recite it. I'll ask you to recite it for me. Yes? Okay, now you.
来，你们那边谁呗？那。
Well, very good. So only 2 people can recite it from their memory. Well, okay, that's good still. Anyhow, this is in fact quite important. What it means is that if we were able to transform suffering into enlightenment, this kind of realization is in fact quite profound. According to ornament of Mahayana Sutra Shastra, it says that this is the realization of first Bhumi Bodhisattva. In order to attain certain level, it means that they have to have that realization within. So once you can truly transform suffering into enlightenment and understand that in fact everything is just like a dream and an illusion, then in such a way you won't experience any fear to enter into any places in this samsara. Unlike people nowadays, they would be very afraid and ask for blessings because they're afraid. But for people attained that realization that all the external phenomena are just like a dream and an illusion, they can go to places that is permeated by disease such as AIDS and pandemic and so on. They won't feel fear at all. They do not fear for suffering nor hope for good situation. So this kind of realization from bodhisattvas are indeed admirable. But for us mundane beings, we have lots of hopes and fears, and we live our life in this kind of alternation of hopes and fears. So if people could truly realize the nature is in fact empty, what a wonderful, free and unhindered life that must be.